Hello again, my friends, and welcome to a short video that's really looking at surrendering the heart to mystical love or the monastic life. The monastic life conjures for many people a life of absolute bliss. And when you see all those nuns walking together in procession, it sort of lifts the heart and you think, wow, what service, what dedication. And then when you're asked, is it for you? And you say, not really. I'd miss my home comforts. But you know, the monastic life can be lived in the modern world. And you do not have to go into an isolated community away from family and friends and embrace a silent order. No, you can live the monastic life from your own home. And that's what the Teo community is about. As brothers and sisters, we come together at the moment as an online community where we embrace the divine in all faiths, in all beliefs. And it's important to remember that part of the calling to the monastic life from your monastery without walls, it's not about being miserable and sad. It's about being joyful, being happy, and enjoying life. But the life of one in service, the life of one who was called by God to surrender the heart to the mystical heart of love. First, I would like to begin by reading from the Interior Castle by the incredible Caroline Miss. She says, "You never know how God is going to get you. What is God asking of you? What is your soul calling you to do or to be in your life now, today? What purpose is your life's journey? When you enter the castle that's your soul, you will find some answers. Seeing your soul as a castle and yourself as a mystic is like having a new lens through which to look at your life. You can see more clearly, notice the shapes of events and patterns more sharply. You don't want to use an old paradigm or an old pair of glasses to find a new path for your beautiful soul. And you don't want to use a new pair of glasses in the wrong way." Beautifully put, don't you think? Well, for those who wish to embrace the monastic life as a lay monastic from their own home, that is possible, because the Teo community of St. Francis, both here in Europe and in the United States, are offering men and women from all beliefs over the age of 18, regardless of your spiritual persuasion, regardless of your sexual orientation, and regardless of any disabilities, you can embrace a monotheistic God. Yes, you can. And as long as you are willing to abide by some basic observances, such as signing the learning contract, the resonance agreement, there is no reason why you can't begin a beautiful journey in service to a loving God. And what does that entail? Well, basically, if you wish to join the Teo community as an eco-sustainable Franciscan and live in a community, then that is possible too. But for now, many would just rather embrace that life from their own home and join us for morning and evening prayer and the peace vigil every night, or whenever. But the new oblate who joins us is invited to make friends with the community online, through Skyping, emailing, even telephone. But the new oblate is guided always to follow their heart. And if it's not for them, then we bless them and we wish them well. But if they decide to stay, then we invite them to go into a 6-month probationary period, and during that time we invite them to take our online communication course in the Tree of Life. It's a beautiful course, it's hands-on, it's from the heart. It's not an academic degree. It's about embracing spirituality underpinned by the therapeutic scenes of Mount Sinai, going back to the prophet Enoch. It introduces us to a whole new way of thinking and living, where we embrace the Christ consciousness and the divine feminine energy. We look at prayer, and we also embrace angelology and the Tree of Life. We get a good basic grounding. And also, if there are any inner core issues, they're usually identified, acknowledged, and blessed and released to God. And following that 6 months, the new oblate is invited to undertake a 2-year course. And in the first year, we offer them the opportunity to develop their spiritual life. And the book that stands out amongst all the spiritual books, written by some of the world's greatest teachers, but the one that really has the edge is The Interior Castle by Teresa of Avila. Though she was a Catholic Carmelite nun back in the 16th century, she provides an inner path to God and your soul. She provides a template for you to surrender your heart in your interior castle. She offers you a whole new way of living, a whole new way of being, to come to that special place wherein the divine is waiting to meet you. And in that place you will rediscover that you are already a monastic. Many people think, oh, I don't want to be a monk or a nun. Nobody's forcing you. But if you love God, then that love says more about your relationship. And it also says that within your spiritual life, in your soul's DNA, there is a monk in service to God. So the 2-year training program, in the first year, it's embracing your interior castle and looking at a basic framework to allow you establish your own loricas, the pillars that will give you the strength and the support that will underpin your learning. In the second year, and of course in the first year, you will also look at some of the wonderful teachings of the great Hildegard of Bingen, the Benedictine abbess, a teacher, author, holistic therapist and practitioner, a musician. But in year 2, in the first 6 months of year 2, you will identify your own spiritual journey, your own spirituality, where you will, if a Buddhist, will want to develop closer links with Buddhism, or as a Hindu or Sikh, a Jew, a Muslim or a Christian. You will be allowed that opportunity to develop closer links with your spiritual family. And in the remaining 6 months, you will look at the 7 keys of Franciscan spirituality: providence, simplicity, integrity, faith, gratitude, surrender, service. And then in that latter 6 months, you will also look at rediscovering your love of God, ready to make your commitment to God as a monastic. And here in the Teo community, we take 7 vows, known as the Sevenfold Vows: the simplicity of life, purity of heart, the vow of obedience, the vow of non-violence, the vow of universal citizenship, the vow of providence, and the vow of compassion. And there is no pressure on you whatsoever, because at the end of that time, you can choose. You have the choice. And if all is well, then you are ordained a lay monastic monk in our monastery without walls.